What in the Lord's name is the deer? Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and to the review of Dear Sorrows by CA Deegan. This is the fourth book in the series of the Cracklock Saga book series, which of course I've been enjoying for a very long time. After discovering the first book, the first book in the Cracklock Saga book series, it was quite amazing to pick up the second book, The Lost and the Departed, which of course I love and enjoy reading. Then picking up the third book, which is Alice and the Mirror Glass, is actually very amazing to me also. And I also do enjoy the standalone in the series, which is The Tale of Natalia Cracklock, which of course I've reviewed all of them on the channel so far. So it's quite amazing, it's quite enthralling, it's quite dynamic to me picking up Dear Sorrows, which is the fourth book in the series. You know, I feel very excited talking about this book. I finished it some hour ago and it had me enthralled. I cannot wait to read the fifth book. I cannot wait to read the coming series because it's very amazing. It is awesome, just as usual. It is fantastically written, just as usual. And this is a series that I've been enjoying for a very long time. This is one of those amazing fantasy novels that I've read. Talk about books by the likes of Stephen King and every other fantastic fantasy authors that you've ever imagined. This is absolutely wholesome. It is, very enthralling. It is captivating. It reads quite cynically, and I can paint image of each scene. I can paint image of each character, each scenario. Talk about the scenario in the realm of the lost, talk about the scenario in the realm of the departed, and talk about the scenario in the mirror realm. All of them makes for an interesting read, and I so much love, the Cracklock Saga, especially this particular series. My review of the book is actually going to be a spoiler-free as usual. I'm going to be giving you a short video book recommendation for you to have an idea of what Craig Deegan has had to communicate in Dear Sorrows. So before I move into my short video book recommendation, I'd love to read to you the back inscription. When darkness falls, who carries the light? An ancient peril will consume the world. Seemingly unstoppable, nothing can resist its sweet invitation to oblivion. Locked away for millennia, the deer has only two things it wants: to become one and to conquer all. Unaware of the danger, Jack and his friends have other problems to solve, and Anastasia is running scared. So, when everything goes spectacularly wrong, to whom can a boy turn? His father, of course. The sorrow is coming, and unlikely Alice are all that will stand against it. And that's what is time to gain reading Dear Sorrows. That's what is time to experience reading this fantastic book. So following on the old adventure of looking for David Cracklock in Alice and the Mirror Glass, talk about this instance whereby all of them were seeking to know where David Cracklock is. Where is he? He's stuck in the mirror realm. Then, Anastasia and Agatha come up with the concept of working with Charles Peterson from the Department of Otherworld Affairs in him to stop David Cracklock, which of course they consider a threat, who they presume to be going back and forth in time, traveling and destroying quite a lot of things. Great Mama had worked together with Charles Peterson to send some agent of his to the mirror realm, while knowing fully well that they cannot come back. This is where I'm gonna pick my review from, book 3, of course, which is a spoiler-free, and starting over from here, and of course making this also a spoiler-free, just that I don't give everything away. So following on from that, once the so-called agent from the Department of Otherworld Affairs arrived at the mirror realm, they actually met David there, and it's not actually only David that is there. We have Kronos, which of course is referred to as Father Time, also stuck in the mirror realm. So they first started by being proving stubborn. We're here to arrest you and take you back. David was like, you're probably never going to see home again. Welcome to the mirror realm. And then realization dawned on them that they are also, just like David, stuck with no means of escape. Then come this black thing that has decided to take almost everybody away, known as Deer. I think that's where the title of the book emanated from, Dear Sorrows. So The deer is this black thing, which I believe is described at the front page of the book. The deer is actually a black thing, something like a black smoke that when it infects people, it turns them to another creature, whereby their eyes turn black and they began to behave weirdly, not in their normal senses, and asking other people who are yet to be infected to come be. It is wonderful in the deer. The deer seek all. It is fantastic here. I love that part, and if to be enacted, it's gonna be a very nice movie. The issue with the deer actually started at Safer's manor, that's Safer's house. That's where the whole issue began, and from here, Anastasia began to run. She began to flee from one part to another. First, she realized that something is not right. Everywhere was actually silent, unlike there's an apocalypse or there's something going on in the world. And so she began to realize that there's this particular smoke that appears anywhere she goes, and some voice speaking inside of it invisibly, wanting her to come be. And at some instance, they would show their face, showing their face as Marcia, showing their face as Great Mama, showing its face as Benedict, as son. And anybody that gets infected with this deer of a thing suddenly turns black, and join them in the deer as they all gather together to hunt on the people who are yet to be infected. So whenever Anastasia traveled from one Cracklock family to another one, she would realize that before she even gets there, the deer is waiting for her to meet her, to seek her, and to beckon to her to come be. And again, she would sketch a graph by the wall side, slap it with her glamour to move into another Cracklock family that she can think of. When she gets there, she would see that yes, the deer is also there. She kept moving from one point to another, to Scotland and to some other parts. This issue actually emanated from the United Kingdom, and it even gets the Prime Minister, infected, that he also have his eyes turning black. And most hilariously, he went to the TV and started, beckoning, started announcing on air that you all should come be, come out, leave your house, come be, the deer seek all, let us be one. And everybody began to realize that something is wrong, something is fishy. The deer is a terrible thing, hunting on the soul of everyone, even the innocent, even the beast and the animal. They are not exempted. Anastasia sketched a graph, and from traveling from one place to another, they all get captured. Even when she get to the house of Barnabas, she was still speaking when the old deer of the thing came, and when she was beckoning, Barnabas come, the deer captured Barnabas, and that's how the story keep unfolding till Anastasia was able to locate her uncle Tobias. And when she narrates the story, how the deer, how this black thing start hunting on people, Tobias was very inquisitive. He was calm, listening to her, and later he was very, very courageous to say, yes, we have to go and stop this deer. If truly this is something that's been hunting on everybody, we have to stop it, and we have to go back to Safia's house, where everything sourced from, where all the problem emanated. And Anastasia was like, are you crazy? Are you this crazy? Do you not hear what I've been talking about all day? I said the place is not good to go. It's not safe to go to Savior's house. I was like, we have to go there. It's where it started, and for you to stop it, you have to go back to the source and stop it. So that's how both of them set on their way and move to Safia's house. Now, coming into another transition, which of course made me fall in love with the story, because once one scene is over, the next chapter talk about another scene of different separate people, and the other chapter could be a continuation of the previous chapter, or talking about a new chapter of another scene entirely. Now to come into the scene of Charles Peterson, who is the president of the Department of Other World Affairs. So Charles have actually seen this black smoke on here through the satellite that makes everywhere turn into darkness, and because of that, he sent his agent just so they can go and investigate it. Once they got there, they started their investigation, but it wasn't long before the deer captured them. The phone with which they used in communicating got spoiled, the car couldn't move anymore, and that's how the agent died and perished together with the deer, and of course eventually turned into a deer. It's very, very heart-wrenching. It's very interesting to see all of this story keep unfolding, and even some of my admirable characters were also captured in the deer. While I was reading this part, I was like, oh my God, if these characters are captured by deer, then what is going to become of the story? I think the story is going to end. But I am surprised it keeps on going. More interestingly, I really fell in love with Dear Soros. It's very amazing. So after Peterson has realized that the agent were no more, he had to set up another team, of course, and they had to travel to the helicopter. And of course, just as usual, the deer came again and took the pilot to other people, and it was just so terrible. It's horrible. But before then, they were going to meet the President of the United Kingdom just so they can have a conversation together. Not so long before then, the President was also infected with the deer, and he went on screen on television beckoning people, come be, it looks wonderful in the deer. And they were like, we are really in a huge trouble. So the deer that started from the United Kingdom began to expand through some part of Europe and even get to the United States. Anywhere the family of the Cracklock has spread all over the world, they are there seeking for them, going to hunt them. They are never tired and they can travel as fast as anything. Coming into another transition, just like I said initially, I love the way the story or the novel is written. One chapter, another chapter, everyone telling their own scenarios, story. Let me move into the transition of Jack, Jimmy, AC, Sammy, Alice, Nate, Poppy, Dorcas, all of them. So if they were actually still mourning the death of Femi, who died in book 3, but while I read book 4, I kind of sense that there is a little bit of hope for Femi. I'm not sure, but in some part of the conversation that exists between some characters, it's as if Femi is not thoroughly dead. I don't know actually, but so they were actually still mourning the death of Femi, while Jimmy came up with a concept that he think he knows a way whereby I can get David back to their realm. And they were like, what way? He said, I think you can go together with Jack. You guys can go through the realm of the departed and enter to another realm and seek to bring David back. The first thought is going to be a very nice idea until all of them brainstorm, bringing ideas together and investigation until they finally said it's not going to work. It cannot work. So they have all agreed that it cannot work, but Jack was very curious, Jimmy was very curious, and Rolly. They went to their room when everybody were already agreed that it's not going to work. So Rolly was the one who actually came up with the concept that let them test the experiment of how it would feel if it traveled to the realm of the departed. And of course, after so much contemplation between Jack, Jimmy and Rolly, Jack stretched a grab by the wall side. They did their stuff, the traveling stuff, and they get themselves in the realm of the departed. Not so much long that Jack and Rolly got to the realm of the departed. Jack could see that Rolly is rolling on the floor in anguish, screaming. Whenever the two screams, they hear it in their head, and quickly he had to stretch another grab and go back. So once he got to him, it was like, Jimmy, help me. Something is wrong with Rolly. And Rolly was just lying down over there in his ends, terribly harmed. And he's not speaking, he's not talking, he's not doing anything. So they have to call the attention of AC, Sammy and everybody. And they were really, really angry, saying that, of course, I told you not to go. I think we've agreed that we're going to, mourn the death of Femi today and start over, to the realm of the lost tomorrow. Why do you have to go to the departed? Now you see what you've caused? So they quickly have to switch another graph, said, we have to take Rolly to his people. They might, of course, know something to treat him. But that's how they put themselves together and travel to the realm of the lost. Once they get to the realm of the lost, everybody was very excited to see Jack Cracklock. Jack Cracklock is like a celebrity in the realm of the lost because of the favor he did in time past, with him using his blood to save them all. So once they got there, they have to go and meet the elders and present Rolly's situation and tell him that this is what happened. We went to the realm of the departed and this is what happened to Rolly. Is there a way that he can come back to life? We wouldn't be happy if he died. They took Rolly to the elders. We're going to take him to a particular pillar of a thing and shake him up. So eventually, when they were able to involve them in some conversation, then AC and Samuel of them also came up and report the issue at hand that they have to them at the realm of the laws, as to the tubes. And they were really, really interested in helping them out just because of Jack, because Jack has been a very good help to them. So they were like, we're going to help you in what way possible. So, AC and Samuel and all of them said, thank you so much. We appreciate that you're going to help us. But that's how they left and came back to their own realm. They first traveled to Timothy's house just to go and inquire and asked him about his, he's a researcher, he's a scholar, he's always reading books. We're going to ask him of any information he has gathered so far about the mirror realm and about how David can come out from the realm. When they got to Timothy's abode, they meet, they converse, and afterward, they were going to go to their house just to go and maybe prepare food. And once they get there, there's a particular sequel that maybe it's a mistake from Nate's side, or it's just going to happen to them unalterably. They had traveled, I think, 2 weeks ahead of the usual time they ought to have done. And as such, once they arrive at their house, they see everywhere mixed up. They see probably dust everywhere, and they see that the phone is not charging. The whole place looks ugly. It seems as if very, very obvious that something is not right. But they turn on the television, and on the television they could see the Prime Minister screaming on the screen, "Come be, it is wonderful in the day." And they were like, "Oh my God, what is wrong? What is this day?" They begin to seek out for solutions, and they were actually curious. They never expect that they're going to meet something like this. And as such, that's how the deer came into the house. While I read this part, I was shivering. The deer came, first took Dorcas. So Dorcas now turned to the black thing, her eyes red, and they were shocked that, "Oh my God, what have you done to Dorcas? Leave her alone now." Before they know what has happened, the deer took them one after the other. First Sammy, AC, Alice, Nate, Poppy, Jimmy, all of them. When I read this part, I was like, "Oh my God, the deer is taking all of my admirable characters away. Why is it like this?" But how Jack was able to escape miraculously is somewhat mysterious to me. It seemed to him like a dream whereby, his grandfather appeared to him and Femi appeared to him. They began to wake him up. "Jack, stand up. The day is coming. The day is coming." And when he woke up, he was saved. Something, kind of a mysterious transition in that angle or in that chapter while I read it. Jacob was the only one who was free from the capture of the deer. And of course, he began to look for other way out. He traveled back to the realm of the lost to inform them of this deity, and of course to ask about the whereabouts of Rowley. So once he got there, he was able to meet old father, and they told him also that they've got a way to bring David out of the mirror realm. Jack was kind of astonished, like, "Are you serious? Is there a way to bring my dad out of the mirror realm? How is it gonna work?" So they told him all of their steps. "We're gonna do this. We have a plan. Old father is gonna follow you. And of course, old father is gonna sacrifice himself. We've discussed this together and we are willing to do this. You and old father is gonna go to the mirror realm and you're gonna put David into the cartulary, and then you have to pass to the realm of the departed to get to the realm of the lost, which of course we have to bring David out from the cartulary and you guys can go back to your world." Okay, this sounds like a nice plan. Let's do this. So Jack was excited, and because of that, he had to inquire for Timothy's whereabouts, because he knew pretty well that the deer has taken every other member of his family. Once he got back to Timothy's abode, the whole place was mixed up. Timothy is a scholar and is mostly found in his library. So once they got to the library, they saw everywhere mixed up, and some people actually came to attack them. Or where the old act was going on, Timothy came and interfered, and that was how Timothy met Jack and the other tube. They were able to travel back to escape the deer thing. So on the other way round, Charles Peterson and Tobias and Anastasia also looking for a way out to stop the deer of a thing, to stop this thing that's taken over all of the planets and seek to destroy them all. Their family member is gone. It took Great Mama, took Magia, took Barnabas, took everyone, and it's desperately non-stop looking for them. I did not even be for David Peterson that intervened at their first instant in the filling station. They would have turned to the deer thing. So in an attempt to keep my review spoiler free, I wouldn't love to proceed from this side. I would love to just stop my narration and my review here. However, I'd love to leave in the vet to want you to find out if Jack eventually went to the mirror realm. Is it possible for him to go to the mirror realm? Despite the fact that it's a one-way journey, when you go there, you never come back. Do you think this is going to be a good aspect, a good idea for Jack? And even if Jack gets there, how does he know he's going to get David back? Then how about the deer thing? Who's going to stop it? Where did it emanated from? I wouldn't love to believe that all of this is Safia's making. I'm just so clueless, just like reading the book, and I look forward to seeing how the stories continue in the 5th book. It's actually well written, it's amazing, and because of my spoiler-free attempt, I would love to talk more about it, even though I love the event in the mirror realm. I would love to talk about, I love all of the scenarios. Some parts were very amazing, some parts were captivating, with a lot of challenges, and there were ways that I went through it. You know, it is very amazing, it is awesome, it is fantastically written. I'm talking about the other world, the US, the UK, that deer at capture. How do you think they can conquer this deer? What way do you think Jack's travel to the mirror realm will impact all of them and bring out something positive to impact their world, to correct the trouble that have decided to eat their flesh up? This story is amazingly written. It is overly suspenseful, and it's my most admirable part of the Cracklock Saga book series. If this is the first time you are getting to know about the Cracklock book series, and it sounds like something that you love to pick up, I'd advise that you start from the first book, Far on Four. Of course, I enjoy reading, and then you might want to pick up the second book, The Lost and the Departed, before moving to Alice and the Mirror Glass. Then I have a standalone here, The Tale of Natalia Cracklock, before eventually coming to the 4th book, Dear Sorrows. And if you'd like to get a copy of this book, I left a link in the description part of this review for you to get a copy directly on Amazon. I also left a link to all of my other review of the book so far, just so you have an idea of what you want to read. Talk about the writing style. Craig Deegan proves himself to be an amazing writer again, and I cannot wait to see what comes up of the other book series. So this is where I'm gonna stop my short video book recommendation of Dear Sorrows by Craig Deegan. If you watch this video to this point and you're yet to click on the subscribe button, I want to urge you to please click on the subscribe button over there. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you can get notified anytime I release new videos. Thank you very much for watching my short video book recommendation of Dear Sorrows by CA Deegan. See you in my next video. Goodbye.